Exodus 19 to 21. In the 3rd month after the sons of Israel had gone out of the land of Egypt, on that same day they came into the wilderness of Sinai. When they had departed from Rephidim, and had come into the wilderness of Sinai, they camped in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mountain. Then Moses went up to God, and Yahweh called to him out of the mountain, saying, "This is what you shall tell the house of Jacob, and tell the sons of Israel. You have seen what I have done to the Egyptians, and how I bore you on eagle's wings, and brought you to myself. Now therefore, if you will indeed obey my voice, and keep my covenant, then you shall be my own possession from among all peoples. For all the earth is mine, and you shall be to me a kingdom of Kohanim, and a holy nation. These are the words which you shall speak to the sons of Israel." So Moses came and called for the elders of Israel, and set before them all the words which Yahweh commanded them. All the people answered together and said, "All that Yahweh has spoken we will do." Moses reported the words of the people to Yahweh. And Yahweh said to Moses, "Behold, I come to you in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak to you, and may also believe you forever." Moses told the words of the people to Yahweh. Then Yahweh said to Moses, "Go to the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their garments, and be ready for the 3rd day. For on the 3rd day Yahweh will come down in the sight of all the people on Mount Sinai. You shall set bounds to the people all around, saying, 'Be careful that you do not come up on the mountain or touch its border. Whoever touches the mountain shall surely be put to death. No hand shall touch him, but he shall surely be stoned or shot through, whether it is an animal or man. He shall not live. When the shofar sounds long, they shall come up to the mountain.' Moses went down from the mountain to the people and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said to the people, 'Be ready by the 3rd day. Do not have sexual relations with a woman.' And it came to pass on the 3rd day, when it was the morning, that there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud on the mountain, and the sound of an exceedingly loud shofar. And all the people who were in the camp trembled. Moses led the people out of the camp to meet God. And they stood at the lower part of the mountain, and all the Mount Sinai smoked, because Yahweh descended on it in fire. And its smoke ascended like the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mountain trembled greatly. And when the sound of the shofar grew louder and louder, Moses spoke, and God answered him by a voice. Then Yahweh came down on Mount Sinai to the top of the mountain, and Yahweh called to Moses to the top of the mountain, and Moses went up. Then Yahweh said to Moses, "Go down, warn the people, so that they do not break through to Yahweh to gaze, and many of them perish. Also, let the Kohanim who come near to Yahweh sanctify themselves, so that Yahweh does not break out against them." Moses said to Yahweh, "The people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for you warned us, saying, 'Set bounds around the mountain and sanctify it.'" Then Yahweh said to him, "Go now, go down. You shall bring Aaron up with you, but you do not let the Kohanim and the people break through to come up to Yahweh, or he will break out against them." So Moses went down to the people and told them. God spoke all these words, saying, "I am Yahweh your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourselves any idol, nor any image of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow yourself down to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh, your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children, on the 3rd and 4th generation of those who hate me, and showing loving kindness to thousands of those who love me and keep my mitzvot. You shall not take the name of Yahweh your God in vain, for Yahweh will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. Remember the Shabbat day, to keep it holy. You shall labor 6 days and do all your work. But on the 7th day is a Shabbat to Yahweh your God. You shall not do any work on it, you, or your son, or your daughter, your male servant, or your female servant, or your livestock, or your stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested on the 7th day. Therefore Yahweh blessed the Shabbat day and made it holy. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long in the land which Yahweh your God gives you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, his male servant, his female servant, his ox, his donkey, or anything that is your neighbor's. All the people witnessed the thunderings, the lightnings, the sound of the shofar, and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they trembled and stayed at a distance. They said to Moses, "Speak with us yourself, and we will listen. But do not let God speak with us, or we will die." Moses said to the people, "Do not be afraid, for God has come to test you, and that his fear may be before you, that you do not sin." The people stayed at a distance, and Moses came near to the thick darkness where God was. Then Yahweh said to Moses, "This is what you shall tell the sons of Israel. You yourselves have seen that I have spoken with you from heaven. You shall not make any gods to be alongside me. Do not make for yourself gods of silver or gods of gold. You shall make an altar of the earth before me, and shall sacrifice on it your burnt offerings and your peace offerings, your sheep and your cattle. In every place where I record my name, I will come to you, I will bless you. When you make an altar of stone, you shall not build it of cut stones. For if you lift up your tool on it, you have profaned it. And you shall not go up by steps to my altar, that your nakedness may not be exposed to it. Now these are the ordinances which you shall set before them. If you buy a Hebrew servant, he shall serve 6 years, and on the 7th he shall go out free, without paying him anything. If he comes in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he is married, then he and his wife shall go out with him. If his master gives him a wife, and she bears him sons and daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. But if the servant plainly says, "I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free," then his master shall bring him to God, and he shall bring him to the door of the doorpost, and his master shall pierce his ear with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. If a man sells his daughter to be a female servant, she shall not go out as the male servants do. If she does not please her master, who has married her to himself, then he shall let her be redeemed. He shall have no right to sell her to a foreign people, since he has dealt deceitfully with her. If he marries her to his son, he shall deal with her as a daughter. If he takes another wife to himself, he shall not diminish her food, her clothing, and her marital rights. And if he does not do these 3 things for her, she may go free without paying any money. One who strikes a man so that he dies shall surely be put to death, but not if it is unintentional. But God allows it to happen, that I will appoint you a place where he shall flee. If a man schemes and comes presumptuously on his neighbor to kill him, you shall take him from my altar that he may die. Anyone who attacks his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. Anyone who kidnaps someone and sells him, and if he is found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Anyone who curses his father and his mother shall surely be put to death. If men quarrel and one strikes the other with a stone or with his fist and does not die but lies in bed, if he rises again and walks out with his staff, then he who struck him shall be cleared. only he shall pay for the loss of time, and shall provide for the healing until it is thoroughly healed. If a man strikes a servant or his maid with a staff, and he dies under his hand, the man shall surely be punished. But if his servant gets up, and after a day or two, he shall not be punished, for the servant is his property. If men fight and hurt a pregnant woman, so that she gives birth prematurely, and yet no harm follows, he shall be surely fined as much as the woman's husband demands and the judges allow. But if any harm follows, then you must take life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, womb for womb, bruise for bruise. If a man strikes his servant's eye or his maid's eye and destroys it, he shall let him go free for his eye's sake. If he strikes out his male servant's tooth or female servant's tooth, he shall let the servant go free for his tooth's sake. If an ox gores a man or a woman to death, the ox shall surely be stoned, and its meat shall not be eaten. But the owner of the ox shall not be held responsible. But if the ox had a habit of goring in the past, and this had been testified to its owner, and he had not kept it in, but it had killed a man or woman, the bull shall be stoned, and its owner shall also be put to death. If a ransom is imposed on him, then he shall give for the redemption of his life whatever is imposed, whether it has gored a son or gored a daughter, according to the judgment it has done to him. If the ox gores a male servant or a female servant, 30 shekels of silver shall be given to their master, and the ox shall be stoned. If a man opens a pit, or if a man digs a pit and does not cover it, and an ox or donkey falls into it, the owner of the pit shall make it good. He shall give money to its owner, and the dead animal shall be his. If one man's ox injures another, so that it dies, then they shall sell the live ox and divide its price, and they shall also divide the dead animal. Or if it is known that the bull was in habit of goring in the past, and the owner has not kept it in, he shall surely pay bull for bull, and the dead animal shall be his own. If a man steals an ox or a sheep and kills it and sells it, he shall pay 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep.